So now we see here the authority of Brahmā. He studied the Vedas 3 times. Sometimes there are people who have, they call themselves follower of the Vedas, but they have no interest in chanting Hare Krishna or worshipping the deities. They do some kind of homa, which is mentioned in the Vedas, and they think that is the highest. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly says, what does it say? He says that Yamibam Pushpitam Vacham, this flowery words of the Vedas, Arjuna, don't get carried away. Traiguniya Vishya Veda Nishtha 90% of the Vedic literature, 4 Vedas, really deal with Karma Kanda. Krishna says, rise up above. Do this homa, you will go there, you will get this. Just all this. In fact, after writing the Vedic literature, even Vedavyasa was frustrated. So Prabhupada comments there, the author himself is in trouble after writing them. And who will be happy after reading them? It's not that it's not a truth, it's a truth, but not the highest truth. Okay. They may have, it's like our chief minister also took oath on truth. But some truth, I don't know what truth he knows. But we are after highest truth. We are not after the related truth of this world. What truth at all? In fact, even in science, they say one thing we can agree, that we can't prove anything. This is the statement of the top scientists. We can't prove anything. So I don't know what truth he has. Even the science will not agree that anything can be provable in this world. This is the fact actually. Anyway, that's another big subject for different class of devotees. So now this is so beautiful actually. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna declares at the end of 6th chapter, which you have already done. What is that? Yoginam api sarvesham bhadagata antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yuma samayukto. Among all my yogis, the highest is Bhakti Yogi. And then we also have the same conclusion. Krishna says, Bhaktya Mam api janati. That is for somebody who spreads this message. Yeah. So anyway, the point is that Bhakti Yoga, what is the difference? We have understood it many times, but let us revise it. See, any other kind of worship to the Lord, we are expecting something for ourselves. That is how the disease in this world. What is in it for me? Correct? Everywhere people, what do I get out? Nowadays marriage is also prickly. I told that story, how the marriage breaks. Divorce. I didn't tell you. What happened? Somebody in Bombay, some misunderstanding happened with his wife and they went for divorce. Nowadays there are a lot of counselors also trying to prevent a divorce. It's a big business. So he went to that person and told his thing. He said, okay, what can I do if you want to divorce? Then he said, actually, is this the most serious reason people want divorce? He said, no, I have still more severe reasons, sir. Really? So what happened? 2 boys and girls came to the court for divorce. So both of them have, very well dressed, from rich family, both come in big cars. Everything looks good, like made for each other, the same. Both hands are good, everything is fine. So, he was wondering why they want divorce. So they were referred to the counselor, the one round, they said to them. So he said, yes, what is the reason? See, both of us have no time to cook. We both have big jobs. So we eat outside. That's also fine. So we decided, did I tell this to you? Yeah. This is all from the lecture. So we decided that one day I'll eat in choice of your restaurant, next day you will eat in choice of my restaurant. Okay? So they settled like that. Okay? So why you want to divorce? We don't like each other's choice of restaurant. He said, then you divorce a restaurant? No, they want to divorce each other. Such silly reason. And actually this is a real incident. He said, then I became a little preoccupied in the mind that people have gone mad because Bombay now the divorce has just 25%, which is quite high. So In other cities, like maybe just 1%, 2%. But in our time, it was not my time, maybe a little more early. There was one divorce happened in Pune, and it came in newspaper. Like a shock. It never used to happen, never heard of. And so he said, in the temple some girl was coming and she asked me that, what do you suggest? I this much studies, where I can get a job. So you're getting married now, so previously it was generally they will not work after marriage. So why you want to get a job? No, in case there is a divorce. So he said, you're preparing for marriage or you're preparing for divorce? In case there is a divorce, I want to work. So people prepare for divorce previously. Anyway, this is funny, this word is very, very funny. So anyway, let us come back now here. So it is so clearly, there is no doubt actually, that Bhakti Yoga is the highest. There is just no doubt. And it is so much encouraging. And here, so what happens in any other process of, we want something from the Lord. Everybody. Either a karmi comes, bhukti, he wants some sense gratification from the Lord. A jnani comes, he wants to be famous in society as a great knowledgeable man, and he wants to merge into them. He just speculates. And then there is yogi, he wants some siddhis so that he can show to the people, he can float in the air or something, and they will not attack. All they want something, and they never peaceful. Devotee, and this was the question, I remember when I was in the college, somebody asked me, I said, well, no, I said I want spiritual happiness, therefore I am practicing. But so the friend asked, and you are also selfish, and actually it is true. I didn't know what is a devotee. We don't know. So devotee doesn't want even bliss. What does the devotee want? He wants Krishna to be satisfied. Now this is mind, it doesn't strike in 100 years. I heard one devotee in his class, then I struck, that is a devotee. You got it? Everybody wants something for himself, in everything. At the end of this, how was even we have a festival, how was the festival? What is to do with you? You should go and ask Krishna. Prabhupada came to one temple, this I told you many times, and he asked the Pujari, how is Krishna? Is he happy? He's never thought about that at all. He is doing like, I have to do this. He was like that. So the very purpose people forget. And now here, what is the authority giving this conclusion? Brahmā, the topmost authority. He is the first person who got the Vedic literature. And after what he is doing? After 3 times, with concentration, he reads the Vedas. They are not even read, people have opinion, my opinion, very idiot. First you read at least Bhagavad Gita, forget about the vast Vedic literatures. Bhagavad Gita 3 times you read, then you come and speak. You have no time to read 1 page also, and in my opinion, who cares for your opinion? So Prabhupada is very nicely pointing out this fact here, because he knows this books will be read by general public. He said, see, you may feel little strange, all this thing, but try to understand this fact, accepting the authority. And this was so much in Prabhupada's life, accepting the authority. Because you may, as much, in the Vedic whole knowledge is descending. We are not adding anything, we cannot subtract anything. As it is revealed by Krishna. And there is a reason for that. Because we are very limited. We see some planet somewhere in the sky. We don't know what's happening there. We have no way of going also there. Correct? So far away, so many 100,000 light years. We can never even know. How do I come to know? There is a way. You have to hear from an authority. The Prabhupada is saying here, even in the modern knowledge where people are fascinated by science, so even in the modern knowledge, you are learning from an authority. Now what is going on in say some planet called Saturn, you don't know. You have to hear from either scientific authority or Vedic authority. But point is, Vedic authority is more correct. There can be no mistake there. We don't change our position. We don't change our conclusion. What we say, final. This is actually, Prabhupada is saying here, this is more perfect way of doing it. Just like the example is given of cow dung. Now the cow dung is a stool of an animal. Yesterday somebody has sent me a huge presentation. In Vrindavan they have many goshalas. There is one of them called Care for Cows. They have, there are many devotees that written books also. How much useful the cow dung is. You can dry it, use for cooking. You can use it for fertilizer, and you can also derive electricity by it, by biogas. We have cow dung. So many ways you can use it. So anyway, the whole thing was explained, even how it is best. That conclusion of them was the best it is to buy milk from somebody who has a cow. Not even from these big dairy farms, because it explains how what all processing they do, what all we lose in that. Very nicely it explained. They do pasteurization, they do homogenization, and they do that heating, very high temperature, reducing. You lose so much thing. Best is to buy from somebody who has a cow and eat it. So how useful the cow is. So we didn't do an experiment to know how cow dung is useful. Or cow urine is useful. It is said in the Vedas, cow dung is very nice. But common sense says that cow dung is not good. Correct? Common sense doesn't. Common sense says it is very dangerous. The stool of an animal. But the Vedas say no. So this is the level of the Vedic authority. This is something very basic which you can understand. Just like you see, there is the generations now being given in a Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto. This king will be there, after that this king will be there, after that this king will be there. And it comes to Chandragupta Maurya, which is a historical fact. So Prabhupada says, look here, the Puranic history and the modern history are interfaced. Before that you don't know. So many thousands of years, so many kings are there. Because they have given a description even for Kali Yuga. Now this king is there, his son is Parīkṣit Janmadeva. He will have so many sons, they will rule over these places. Now this son, then it comes struck. Struck. Now how do they have access to that information? That what is going to happen so later? And you can't actually. Recently I was studying in the paleontology, so much people are paid. First thing that whenever it happens, they get a bone or any material, bones don't last so much. And even if you have, there is so much controversial, this is a top scientist, so much controversial, the dating of the bones. It all goes by the layers. In the bone you say, that if there is any organic thing, yes you can do carbon dating or something, but the problem is that the very old thing, nothing organic remains, it's just a piece of chemical. What do you do with that? And then when they find something in a layer, which is say millions of years old, a human bone, even if you find, now it doesn't fit the theory, they start trying to escape from that in some way or another. Either they discredited the scientist that he must have planted this here, or they say, there must have been a river which eroded this place and it deposited. Because if the cut is too long, it cannot cut by man. So, some river was here, which eroded this place, and this was deposited, and the river dried up. But things which you have no evidence, somehow they want to believe. It's like, and they adjust it, and they forget about it. Somehow, this is a very beautiful work. In fact, I wish that there are a lot of people doing that. It's not that. It's not there is one devotee, Dutta Das is doing. But I was thinking he is the only one doing. No. There are many elderly, very respected paleontologists who have, some people don't like, when you do like this, it comes to the public notice. Other scientists also come to know. So they also try to, it's not that all the scientists are in that way. There are many genuine people, but their voice is less. But they got that evidence that they are also a lot of work, beautiful work, saying that we are trying to discard away because we do not have any theory fitting in. So, you see the Vedic knowledge, there is no cheating going on like this. Here we have some idea, and to fit into that idea, we do so many things. But if you get an evidence, sometimes they say, no, science doesn't agree to that the man was there millions of years ago. But these are all, showroom scientists, not real scientists. The real scientists are in doubt because this evidence has come up. Correct. So similarly, what actually happens to, once Prabhupada was in India and he saw in Kumbh Mela millions of people coming, The Prabhupada told, see, the fortune of India is not everybody is educated. So, this is considered a misfortune actually, correct? Prabhupada said, no, say they have been saved from this all brainwashing. They have been saved. Otherwise, you go to school, college, you are taught all this thing. There is not taught all this mythology. You see anywhere, it is so painful to see. Anything coming. Somebody mentioned that some politician is Bhasmasura. You know that? But that is okay, the fine. But next, the mythological figure. It's painful to hear. It's not a mythological figure, it's a fact. He was there. Why you say like that mythological figure? Why you say like that mythological figure? So painful. So, and they present in such a way, now who is reading, the people, they also start feeling. In home, their mother told the story, or Nani told the story with the children. They're all mythological. Mythological means myth. It's very, very painful to them. Even that little Krishna was finally done by Reliance people. And they have put at the end the fable. Fable means myth. Many devotees objected to that. How would you allow that? They said just missed out. What missed out? Fable. Fable is a myth. It's an English term for a myth. You cannot use fables or some stories for entertaining children. So therefore, you see, it's so nice here. And how much gratitude we have to Prabhupada to create this revolution in this world. The devotees asked Prabhupada, when you're entering America, when you're putting foot in America, what was your desire, decision? Prabhupada said, I want to take over your government. Like an acharya, imagine coming without 40 rupees, bankrupt man entering America and to take over this country. Because he's an acharya. Acharya means Chakravarti. He comes with all victory, correct? He is not, Prabhupada had always used to be high. Always. Even in the beginning he used to give classes. Prabhupada used to say, ask a president, ask him this. You say in God we trust. Tell me something about God. Straight. He was always on target with the view a person will have who is going to conquer. The philosophy Prabhupada has given, will conquer one day America. It will conquer. Why? The point is that it is undefeatable. It is just a matter of time. 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4. It may be slowed down because we are not very efficient. In fact, the kind of hard work devotees do at that time, we are not doing. There was a temple in France. The president said, that time president of the temple was Bhagwan Das. So he said that Prabhupada is visiting us and the devotees who do the maximum distribution of books, they had few books in French, Bhagavad Gita and some pamphlets. Who does maximum distribution of these books and literatures and pamphlets will get opportunity to watch Prabhupada's picture. And devotees did not sleep for 1 hour. This used to be the moment. We were sleeping for 2-3 hours. And we used to leave the temple before the sun, we used to get up say 3 o'clock, chant around 5 o'clock, before the sunrise out. And we used to come after sunset at 11 o'clock at night. This was the kind of energy it was. Even though there were few, even the amount of book distribution they were doing, we can't match it today. See, the movement has grown at least in number of devotees, the number of temples 5 times by today. Prabhupada left with 100 temples, today there are 500 temples. So approximately devotees we can multiply 5 times. Correct? But the amount of book distribution they are doing, can't imagine. It's shocking actually, how it is so possible. They used to be in a day sometimes, and they used to be so enthusiasm and energy around the whole thing. And therefore, they used, and another interesting thing was these books were coming one by one. They were not available all, because movement of books were not ready. So they used to get, say, in the 66 when the movement started, not even, there were only first canto was there, Bhagavatam itself. Then second canto is coming. Then third canto is coming. And that also coming in parts. Because Prabhupada liked the 400 page printing. So they were always, so many volumes it was coming. And they were reading the books. There was once that Krishna book came from some printer, probably Dynamite came. And Prabhupada was in a big function. And devotees used to really see to it, it reaches Prabhupada on time. But Prabhupada is visiting the temple and they used to really struggle. Some devotees, will drive for 20 hours, something, to get Prabhupada on the real occasion, say on Rath Yatra or something. So it was a huge occasion, and first Lord of Krishna book came. So 60 copies came. And Prabhupada explained, this book has come. And whole audience wanted it. And he didn't have a single copy even to look. Everything he distributed. It used to be such energy. So like that. So yes, we will understand Krishna, but we have to, this is the process of Bhakti Yoga, which the devotees Prabhupada encourage and show. We will see Krishna, but that is satisfying. And for that, we should put tremendous energy. That is Bhakti Yoga. Not that, sometimes I ask students, what is chanting? Yeah, sir. Sometimes one round I do. You will not see Krishna. You will neither even, and therefore they happen, students struggle to understand even the basic conclusions. The mind wavers, even on the most fundamental conclusion of Krishna consciousness keeps wavering, because it will never be realized. Even the simplest conclusion of Krishna consciousness. Yesterday one boy had come from India, so when he was going, I said, everything is fine. He said, one doubt is there. And I said, why didn't you tell me before? But the fundamental thing, No, everywhere they say that, Krishna is the incarnation of Vishnu. So why you say Vishnu is the incarnation of Krishna? And then if Krishna is the incarnation of Vishnu, we should discuss about Vishnu, but we always discuss about Krishna. It's such this is like a vocabulary of Krishna consciousness. And even the small things are, disturbing the mind. It will be if you don't seriously practice. What happens to a devotee actually? Because he sincerely engaged in devotion service, so much pleasure is automatically there. It is just a small thing. Any day I try. Just because already, just like it is saying, I am hungry, I am having food. Correct? So much satisfaction is there in having food that, and you are so tasty it is. But doubt is there that fry is not there. It's not immaterial to my faith. The food is satisfying. So similarly, Krishna consciousness is a direct experience. Raj Vidya, Raj Guryam. Therefore, it is a king, emperor. They have. I think somebody told Prabhupada that what about Raja Yoga? They have an organization. They created this term Raja Yoga. They told Prabhupada. They have Prabhupada time. So Prabhupada said, what I am teaching is Emperor Yoga. Emperor Yoga. So then it says, Rajavidya Rajagoyam, and then it says, Pratyaksha Anugabam Dharmam Susukam Kartumam. Pratyaksha. It is perceived. It is not a story, it is perceived. And there is the devotees were telling how in a temple there was one person, and this person they call him Pigpen. They call the local some novel that have that name. Did I tell this story? And this person used to come to temple before a festival. Big festival was there. Festival of Prabhupada. That is to be a festival. And then what happened was, so this person, they were preparing painting. That is to happen before Prabhupada arrival. It's like a Janmashtami for them. Once in a year Prabhupada comes. The whole temple was being painted and cleaning was going on, arranging everything, making it very good. So what happened? One knock on the door 3 days before. With one man standing with all the hairs and flies everywhere. We get some people in Bangalore also. On the road they will be lying. They are less in Bangalore, but it is there. Always in a locality outside. And really go, some people give some food and this or that. But dirty, no bath, stinking, and even drunk. eyes are, can't even speak. So devotees, always they're coming, somebody has come. They gave some prasad. Go. He went. Then few days later, there was a beautiful, garden where they're planning to take Prabhupada for a walk. So they went chanting japa, everything is fine there. So again, that fellow was in a bush, and he came up, food. So we give you food, come to temple, not here. So like that, and devotees also, being roaming here and there. That time there was nature a devotee to deliver the whole world. So some devotees used to even preach to him. That is Krishna. That was the mood that time. And then what happened is that Prabhupada came and there was a big celebration as usual. And they took Prabhupada one in the morning days, said we will go for a morning walk. So devotees were very excited. So it used to happen in the morning walk, nobody would remain in the temple except the pujari who was addressed. Because everybody wants to be with Prabhupada. It was very nice actually. Not only it was a good Prabhupada, some time to walk, because that's the best exercise. Instead of running on a treadmill, you can walk with nice weather. So Prabhupada walking, and the devotees are all in line. They're also asking some personal question. They get a time for. Otherwise, in a class there is no personal opportunity. So suddenly from the bush, somebody jumped to catch hold of Prabhupada's bed. Big pen, same color. Wanted to catch Prabhupada's bed. So devotees again, throw him out. So somebody picked him and threw him out. They didn't allow him to touch. Just about to touch, they picked him and threw him back to the bed. Prabhupada did not say anything because there was a general policy that except initiated devotees, nobody should touch Prabhupada's bed. That was the policy. Because why give karma of somebody who's not going to follow him? Somebody was following him, yes, Prabhupada is ready to take his karma. So that was the policy. So what happened then? When they came back to the temple, door was open because they had closed the door. Pujari is busy. Door was wide open. They were suspicious that somebody had entered the temple. So then, as usual, first Prabhupada will enter the temple, all are behind him. Prabhupada entered the temple, boom, now he held the foot. He caught Prabhupada's lotus foot and he is holding. So devotees wanted to again pick him up and throw him. Prabhupada said, let him touch. And then after some time, few seconds, Prabhupada touched his head. Okay, that's fine, that's all right. And he went back, sat down. And then Aarti started, Govinda Mahārāja amazing. He's like, what do you expect? Sitting like this. He cannot participate. He's in a complete, not tamoguna, depth of tamoguna. But has been now blessed by the Acharya. That is the way. And then class is going on, Prabhupada Guru Puja, Prabhupada class. And another world either. So then Prabhupada went back to his room and devotees and prasad and everything. And they're deciding what to do with him. So temple now 2 teams started debating. They said, no, throw him out. He can't stay now, he should get out. Others said, no, Prabhupada gave him mercy. Now how we can throw him out? He said, okay. Now shape. You want to stay here? Can't even say yes. So they picked him up. They took him, they bathed him after a few months, shaved him, put a dhoti on him. Everybody was laughing. But he completely, new figure now with the dhoti, shaved up and all. And then what happened was, they said what to do with him. So they said, okay, give him all the washing, something he can do, what he can do. He can't even talk properly. So let him do all the washing. So he used to washing pots, washing the temple, he was doing like that. And then after that, one day he said that we were going for Sankirtan. Sankirtan was book distribution is called Sankirtan. Sankirtan van. Not only Kirtan is Sankirtan, book distribution is also Sankirtan. We are distributing, Prabhupada used to say this is rather Brihad Mridanga. You go and do Harinam, only 2 people will listen. But you distribute book, this will go to millions of people. So this is a louder Mridanga. So they were going on Sankirtan, and that person was sitting also in the Sankirtana van. So he asked him, hey, Big Ben, what are you doing here? I go, Sankirtan. Why? Prabhupada saved me. I also want to do this. It's because it was very dear to Prabhupada distributing books. Everybody said, okay, we'll give you a chance. Come. You can clean the van when you go for book this. What do you do? You can't even talk. So you clean the van. When you go, they had a big van. So they went there, they landed up there, and that person, before anybody packed up his books, generally they used to land up, they used to leave early, land up, and then they used to take their prasad, breakfast, and then go. So they landed up, and everybody making it back. He first made it back and ran away. Listen, so let us have our breakfast. If somebody said, look, he did a book there. In a sense, the colloquial language, he sold a book. So what? He sold a book because they are worried. Now police will come and throw them out. Because what he will do, he speaks some nonsense and somebody may get irritated. So there's that one, and then after a few minutes he came running. He's finished the book. He said, what did you do? You dumped the book somewhere? No. I sold it. He said, what did you say to people? Prabhupada saved. That's all. That is nonsense. And and later he became, slowly in the association of devotees, slowly changed much. His voice cleared up. He started giving classes. So he was telling that by seeing the tremendous change that happened to that person who's like the lowest possible consciousness, deep tamoguna, into a wonderful devotee, we develop so much faith in the process of Krishna consciousness. And Chaitanya Charitamrita also Prabhupada says something very, very sweet. There is a devotee called Vasudeva. There is one Vasudeva who prayed to Lord Chaitanya. There is another Vasudeva, Vasudeva Brahmana, who was leper. He was in a place near Kurmasthala, or maybe Kurmasthala, something. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come from South Indian tour, he has come to the place Kurmasthala, where the deity of Kurma, Matsya Kurma, was there being worshipped. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he met first Kurma, where the famous instruction comes, Yare Dego Tare Kaho Krishna Udesha, Amara Agya Guru Kaho Tara Udesha, Yare Dego Tare Kaho Krishna Udesha. The same. After instructing Kurma, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves the place, and one leper was actually a Brahmin. Was a very nice devotee of the Lord. And he was so self-realized, even though he is a leper, that the bones are there in leper's body. If they used to fall, he used to pick it up and keep it in the same place. Just imagine. And whoever used to see him used to run away, because the odor of the body creates the odor, leper's body. Anyway, people used to keep away from this. And so what happened? He comes to the place of Kurma, this Kurma Brahmana, and he asked him, I want to take darshan of Lord Chaitanya. He said, Lord Chaitanya just left. Really? He fainted there. So much he feels unfortunate. I missed darshan of Lord Chaitanya. So from nowhere, Lord Chaitanya manifested. That he can do is the Lord himself. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya did not hold his Krishna nature. Otherwise, it was like a humble devotee, doing Sankirtana. But sometimes there are, 4 Sankirtan parties, they are dancing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance in all of them. He used to not hold all those things. Why? He is the Lord himself. He is sometimes not used to hold all this. Sometimes great devotees like Ramananda Raya, Sarvam Bhattacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed them his form as Krishna. Sometimes in Navadip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had Mahaprakasha, manifested the full, even showed Vishwarupa sometimes. He did actually everything, but among his intimate devotees. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests. Because the great devotee is crying in separation. He missed his darshan. And Chaitanya manifests there and embraces him. And this Vasudeva, who is a leper, immediately gets a beautiful body. Because the Lord has touched him. Becomes very handsome. So there he says the same shloka. Which shloka? The Sudama Brahmana says the shloka, who am I? Not even a Brahmin. Because always everybody thinks, I am just a Brahma Bandhu, not even a qualified Brahmin. And who are you? The Supreme Personality of God. Still you have embraced him. Same with Sudama, when Sudama visits Krishna, Krishna gets up and embraces him. Correct? So he says the same thing. The same thing shloka. You see, people are so learned at that time. He repeats the same shloka. Just like Brahma, read 3 times the Veda before coming to the conclusion, Bhakti is the highest, correct? For us, Few books Prabhupada has given, even one time you are not read. You know? So what happens now, and you want to make a conclusion. So now what happens, this person becomes very handsome. He's definitely very pleased. And he says to Lord Chaitanya, and I feel now that people who will even keep away, you embraced me. That this kind of mercy nobody can have except the Supreme Lord. You are my Supreme Lord. He understands. And he can see already what has happened. It has become a beautiful person. Then he says, my Lord, I am very worried now. What? I will become proud. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no. You continuously preach the message of Krishna consciousness, I will protect you from this. So Prabhupada also says in the purport there, all the devotees of Krishna conscious movement, you should be very conscious. You all have been saved from a very wretched condition. Actually, Prabhupada says, openly says, he has seen from what condition, like this fellow, what their name, later he became initiated, he got initiation also from Prabhupada, later. Some name he had and he was distributing books for a very long time. And the devotee said, last I knew, he was there in France for maybe a decade, then he went to America, he was distributing books there, so imagine. So like that, practically everybody, as the Prabhupada says, has been saved from a very wretched condition. They should therefore dedicate themselves. Prabhupada used to many times remind devotees, you have given your life for what purpose? Don't forget. The purpose is, you have to see Krishna this life. This is our determination. We have to see Krishna this life face to face. So we have to be very serious, very, very serious. So, and we should be very confident. We should be very confident about the process of the science. Why? 3 times Brahmā read and he clarified. One time he missed out. Jumped over this. Now next time we will come to one shloka. I wanted to come actually. That shloka. Yeah, you see that? The great personality Brahmā, with great attention and concentration of mind, studied the Vedas 3 times, and after scrutinizingly examining them, he ascertained attraction with the Supreme Personality Godhead Sri Krishna is the highest perfection of relation. That is what we are all practicing. And what is the word used there? Rati. Rati means attraction. And to the Supreme, the highest level of perfection. Now next time we will do this shloka, and I need little study, because this shloka says something very interesting. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. I want you all to read this purport. Read this purport and try to understand it. The many devotees have read this purport, they are wonderstruck. Logically, Prabhupada proves Paramatma is there. Read this purport and I can explain. Because Atma you can understand logically, because we are conscious the body is there. Paramatma can also be understood logically, yes, it is there in this purport. Anyway, he says, the personality of God, Lord Shri Krishna, is in every living being along with the individual soul. And this fact is perceived and hypothesized, can be hypothesized also, logically understood, in our acts of seeing and taking help from intelligence. So, in essence, I have spoken many times, but I request everybody to read the purport. Devotees have spent a lot of time, many times they read, 3 times at least, try to understand this purport. The Prabhupada hypothesizes and concludes Paramatma is there with us. Okay? Just by watching. Conclude, yes, Paramatma is there. The hint is given here. Because in an act of seeing and taking help from the intelligence. The source of the intelligence is the law. Continuously we get intelligence. Do this, don't do that. The source of the law. It's like, suppose you are going somewhere. Somebody says, slow down, slow down. What do you say? But the sound slow down cannot come from a machine. Some person will be speaking. Only assuming some car fell down and some sound came slow down. You know a person is speaking. Why? At this moment, a correct guidance has come. So, so many times we get an inspiration, guidance, source has to be a person. But Prabhupada has given some rigorous analysis in this purport. Everybody can study 3 times, understand. We will discuss that next week. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.